Won't leave.
You can't get rid of
Can't
it.
get rid of them, so we're gonna paint some more.
Hey, Caleb.
Hello.
Hello. Video. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey. Hi. 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 Hey. Hey, Kevin.
Hi. I use dry paint on typically a fairly dry canvas, and so scrubbing ends up being necessary.
What colors were they?
That was red, blue, and white.
Right here. I'm short enough that I'm not in your way, right?
No, you're not in my way.
I'm talking to Caleb. He's like 2 feet higher than me.
He's 2 feet higher than me. Okay, we have shop towels.
I'm gonna call it paint into the canvas even more
And to remove the paint that's floating on top.
and to move the paint that's floating on top.
Okay. Now, that is a realistic background to a tree. That would be normal, you know? With oil in that brush.
I've seen Kevin spend a half an hour to 45 minutes on a single evergreen tree. It happened.
That makes
Get
you feel
on his
so
Well, I don't have to
Patreon.
leave until tomorrow,
No,
so.
Okay.
that's it.
So I've got
If you want
my,
to see, on Patreon, there's one of his videos. It's a long form video. He actually scrapes this one rock like 5 times,
yeah.
redoing it because he's totally unsatisfied. It happens to any of
Okay.
us.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put down some color to work.
Right.
It's a pretty
Starting with
color.
some color. Thank you. See, it's the emotional green.
Ah. It's
Definitely.
pretty.
We're gonna come up with a brand
Is
new
that emotion
set
envy?
of paints that are gonna be emotional.
Is it what?
Envy.
No.
That's what comma strokes look like when you go fast.
What is this right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm doing is, this is just my underpainting. I'm just setting up my underpainting. Could we get some Hansa yellow, please? Whoever sees some. I'm gonna move this trash can here. Thank you. Right. Right. The highlights will be a yellow. They'll also be green.
Right.
They'll also be blue. They'll also be purple. What else would they be? Okay. So now we're gonna take a fan brush, maybe. Make sure the oil's out of the fan brush. And I'm going to just begin to kind of smush it. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to expand the tree out, give myself a little room to work, and helps to mush some of that in.
So when you mush, are you at 50% mush or 100 or 20?
I'm going pretty light.
It's pretty light.
It is actually pretty light. Yeah, that's a good
So
question.
it's a smidge, not a smush.
Did you figure this technique out yourself?
Yeah, this is just kind of how I'm doing my trees now. I've done them different in the past. This is just how I'm doing them now. I'm not worrying about the tree trunk. I'm not thinking about anything other than the basic shape. I'm gonna get some brown in there because I know I want the middle of my tree a little darker. But you'll notice one thing that's already happening with this tree. Look at all the color I've got in it. A lot of color. Actually, zoom that in. A lot of color in that tree. Color is actually one of the most important. I think 50% of the painting is color, 50% of the painting is composition, highlight, contrast, everything else. I'm gonna take and blot that. I've got little accidental thingy doos. Okay.
Of course, we
Now.
haven't did it in a half an hour on the show, so.
What we want to do now is we want to begin to expand. This tree is going to grow. We want to expand some branches out with the detail brush. We're going to be doing that using kind of like a comma stroke. It's a little different because of the shape of the evergreen tree. Well, thank you for the camera. Some sap green, yellow, white. Just the first color. First of several. We come up here to the top. I'm gonna begin to just expand this tree outward. Not real bright yet, but it's just the beginning stages of, oh, okay, there could be a little something going on.
And you're using the comma?
The comma, but it's not quite the same, but it is the same. I still kind of call them comma strokes. It is a smush. I am thinking about branches.
But you'll also see some of the stuff he did previously is still there.
Oh yeah.
He's not covering up the
No.
little specks and everything that make up.
And sometimes the brush runs out of paint. Sometimes I'll just do that. Set down some color. And bring it out and in. And all around. That's normal. That right there is very normal for me. Some blue. Add some blue on this side.
Shadow side.
Shadow side. Bring out some
Bye, Gary.
color. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Blue mixed with what?
You know, it was blue mixed with green and probably some mud. Green and brown. It's okay right here. I see I'm coming out. Now I'm not killing all of my little thingy doos, but I am coming outside because trees do grow. It is kind of a comma, but it's kind of not. And I'm using my painting up here as a palette. That's why I put, you notice I put the yellow ochre at the top so that my tree becomes naturally lighter as it comes up to the top. This is one of those kind of stumpy evergreens, those big old, like you could put this in the foreground, you know? Definitely a big old foreground stumpy evergreen. You can get like the big old pines where it's mostly trunk and sparse limbs. You would do it similar, but you would spend more time on the trunk and less time on the leaves. It's still a lot of the detail from the original colors showing through, but you'll notice me, if you squint your eyes, you'll see warm green, cool green, brown, ochre, just a lot of different variations I can shoot. You can take sap green, pure sap green, go right in there and create these little details. Pull out some more there. There. Every once in a while they go up and not down. Over here, just continue. Should have set up chairs. Some brown.
Nice.
Thank you.
It's brown. It's kind of it's a warm color.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah. It just helps to add that little bit of dimension. Darker brown limbs, evergreen needles, you know, the ones that have died, kind of represents that maybe.
And then you're mostly trying to keep them on the shadow side?
On the shadow side and in the interior
The shadow side.
as well. Running out of room, but that's okay. Having said that, I did a couple on the highlight side there.
Now, this might be a really strange question, but how do you know where to put it?
That is a strange and good question. I need to think about that. How do I know? Well, I know I want the browns in the middle because the browns don't make
Right.
sense. Not that dark. I wouldn't want it on the highlight side. Oh, look at what I just did. I grabbed some of my light tan. Now I can place those over here like there's some dead dry ones. So basically, if it's mid-tone, it goes in the middle. If it's real dark, it usually goes on that left side. If it's brighter, it goes on the right side. That's a.
But my question is, how did you know to put that spot right there?
I guess I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it that much. I knew that I want my blues on the left, and I know that I don't want it to be that blobby, right? I want it to be wispy edges, so I can bring out wispy edges. But look, I've got purple going, so what I'll do is I'll bring the purple in and around as well. So I've got not only blue, turquoise, but I've got purple.
I think what he's getting at is every little time you touch the canvas, them 350 times you've touched it in the last minute and a half,
Right.
how did you know where to
Where
put
to go?
each 350 little spots?
He thinks like a tree.
There you go, thinks like a tree.
I was trying to
I think he's just
explain.
trying to give you crap, Kevin.
No,
You're trying
no,
to
it's a
explain.
legit question. I'm just trying to explain it.
Think like a tree. That's
I mean, I could have been doing what you're doing right now,
Right.
but mine would look crappy, to put it bluntly.
Well, I know the shadows go on the left. I know that the midtones go in the middle. I know the highlights go on the right. And I'm also thinking structure this way. Right now, I'll show you one more thing. Tree trunk. Okay, that's just where I know the tree trunk is going to go. Now I'm going to take some of my yellow and white and a little sap green. A lot of paint, Okay, now we're going to do some of my branches. I know I want these. I know they're not going to be in the middle much. There will be a little bit, and I know they're not going to be on the left at all.
Right.
So I know I want them on the right. So I know I'm going to start right. I never start at the tippy top. Start usually right in this area. The reason I don't start at the tippy top is because usually it's easier to work up into that area than starting there and working down. You usually make it too fast if you do that.
I've done cleanup before, my shoulders.
And I'm just dabbling and dotting.
And are you gonna hit every branch going down? Because you got branches there, but are you gonna add branches of that color, or just on the branches that you've already got there?
I believe I am going to add some branches. Maybe not on the edge, because this edge is pretty full, but certainly, I'm gonna skip that. The reason I skipped it is just for variety. See how I'm not just going, but I'm actually slowing down and almost making branches within the branches. Now, we got branches straight, so the next one's gonna be not. See that?
Did you thin that last color down?
I did not. That is not thinned down.
And how and why did you come up with this type of tree?
I don't know. It just felt more realistic. It's just I promise I didn't sit down and say, here's how I'm gonna boom, I'll come up. You know, it just sort of happened, you know what I mean?
Because they really do look more realistic. That's why
did,
when I saw some of your videos and how you added the dark and then you put the dark tone, medium tone, and the light tone on them, I go, oh my God, this guy's crazy. How do you figure this out?
Well, it's just a slow change. I didn't do it all at once, and I certainly didn't sit down and think, oh, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
And that's how their leaves hang, but the
Right,
way when they're
yeah.
coming down, their little arms.
And I think it makes it look a little more interesting to have some of that.
Yeah,
in the
Kevin,
center.
what type of pine tree is that? What's the name of that tree?
I don't know.
It's
More of a
pretty
furry kind of tree.
Pretty tree.
Douglas fir?
Kinda.
That's okay, we'll Google it when you're
Because you
done.
know there's
Yeah.
200 different species of pine trees.
Oh, well that makes it
200?
easy.
I thought there'd be more than
That's one
that.
of those.
It's one of those.
It'll match one of them.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 palms.
This is a lot like a live stream, Kevin.
It is a
And
lot like a
all
live
the
stream.
commentary.
A lot
I
of
know.
people talking. Yeah, you have the audience.
Everything all at once.
Best live stream ever.
It doesn't get much liver than
No.
It doesn't get much lighter. Look, you can even do white.
And you always paint in Crocs?
Usually barefoot.
You use your barefoot? Okay, that's a good question for the audience. We can't see you in the back row, Kevin.
They're a family of Crocs.
They're
Do
found.
you like
Gotta brand them.
Crocs?
Crocs, by
You
taking
know,
them.
Crocs are made like 30 miles from where I live.
No kidding.
You're so comfortable.
Well, they started off. I think
The
they're
white mostly on the
manufactured in
edges?
China.
Only
That's
on
where
the
they
edges.
started
The
off.
white is always
These
only
are
on
really
the edges.
beautiful too. They're called Gypsy Souls or something like that. No, they're called Gypsy Jazz.
But what about
My sister
the ones
wants
that
to
you've
live
gotten
on.
down?
They're like
I won't do
Those
white
are,
on those.
because those are like coming
You
down
don't have
in
to tie
front
them,
of
just
the
put them on. They
tree.
come in
Right.
all sorts
They're
of
pushing
colors.
almost toward me.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm not going to hit them with
I'm
white.
like addicted to them.
I don't think.
but you are gonna highlight them, right? So that way they look like they're coming at you even
Yeah,
more?
you could. I'm gonna focus, I'm just gonna do my white. Yeah, there we go. See, and honestly, the other thing is I'm gonna let this bottom part be a little darker, let the top be a little lighter. Because see, as I squint my eyes, I'm already seeing some not only dimension this way, but this way. It's got
Right.
like height to it, shadow under it, that's nice. Yeah, as far as highlighting those, I can go a little a little brighter right down the middle, I can definitely do that. And I don't want to go white,
Right.
but I can just, especially right there, make a, ooh, he's coming down.
I have a question. You haven't cleaned your brush one time. How do you keep it from getting, how do you keep your white and
Putting
then you
a
go?
lot of paint in that brush.
Just a
I'm
lot.
just using a lot of paint.
So whenever you switch colors, you just load?
Right.
Okay.
Even like when you did your path today, you just had a lot of paint on your brush to
Right.
keep it whatever light color you were wanting.
Exactly. Just.
Well, they're just beautiful.
Thank you.
Already, it's just so beautiful.
Well, and the reason it's nice is because of the just sheer volume of color that I've got in that tree. Now, I'm not happy with something on that tree. Can you see what it is?
Sorry, I was going to Rick. Oh, sorry.
It is this boom, 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 repeating pattern there.
Right.
Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
Let's do something.
That's a nice little place for squirrel.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring
Should I
that
check his
paper-
pocket?
That guy would put a squirrel on there.
Squirrel?
I'm gonna bring that over.
Here's the, or you wish
Yeah, I wanted
Much better. Breaks
I
that
have
up.
the thumbtacks
Gives me a
for this.
midtone there. A little midtone here.
Yeah.
A little midtone here. A little midtone here.
See, now, in a Bob Ross tree, I never noticed having these branches coming at you. They were always out to the side.
It's not two-dimensional, it's a 3D.
Yes, 3D tree. That's
Okay, 3D
exactly right. Now let's go ahead and get some color.
Yeah.
Tree trunks typically a little brighter at the bottom.
Hey, Carl, how many times a week do you paint?
I only paint, when I'm doing a painting, I'll paint it every day until I get it done. By that I mean, I also stain glass. So when I'm working on a stained glass, I do the stained glass when I'm ever done, until I'm done. And both of them can take me a couple of weeks to get either piece done.
Gosh,
So
so it's
I-
not like you're painting all the time.
No,
Now, Kevin, how many days a week do you paint?
right,
When
Every day?
1 to 3.
1 to 3,
Yeah.
okay.
That usually makes a huge difference. If you come in and do class and you haven't painted since last
2 weeks ago,
October,
Right.
then it's gonna look very different.
And the one thing that I did notice with this class is a lot of the things that you do, I already do.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Yep.
you know, so I don't know if I've learned them from somebody or if I just come up with the fact that, well, this is how this has got to work.
Some of it's common sense. A lot of what I've done is just sort of common sense. You know what I mean? Just sort of whatever naturally works. Just whatever I've found to work.
Oh, sorry.
Take a shot of everybody.
I'm gonna put some presents on.
Yeah. Honestly, you could do a green tree like this and then carefully put blue and white snow on top, or let it tack up and put blue and white snow on top.
We've
Kevin,
done
that's
the
just
blue and
beautiful.
white snow on trees like that with the,
What time is it? Have you been filming the whole
center
time?
ones especially hanging
What time
down,
are we at?
laden with
I'm doing it in
snow.
pieces.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
edit it,
Yep,
put
yep,
it
yep.
in like a reel.
But anyway, that's more or less
Save
it.
it, I'll put it on.
That's more or less
That
it.
is just so beautiful. Thank you for showing me.
That was really good.
And Carl, that was your idea, so you get to take that one home, and you
Oh,
can use it as a reference.
Thank
It
you.
was your idea.
Wow.
That was great.
What a treat.
right.
2 treats. I want a picture.
Oh, that's right.